Okay, in this video we will do a problem of finding a lot of different stuff from a multivariative function. First we'll write down the function. It's 6, 1 minus x minus y. Okay, here's the function. As you see, it is 6 times 1 minus x minus y dy dx, and it goes in the area of, I'll draw a picture here. As you see, see a triangle there. It goes from 0 to 1, and y is equal to 1 minus x. And this is the integration that equals to 1. So here is the problems we would like to do now. We would like to find a lot of stuff, and this is a very good drill for getting used to figuring out multivariative stuff. Well, the exercise will be to find ex, ey, variance, x, variance, y, covariance, x, y. Ex given y, ey given x, variance, x given y, variance, y given x. Okay, I had a long list of stuff, and hopefully we'll go through everything. As you see here, the list: ex, ey, variance x, variance y, covariance xy, ex given y, ey given x, variance x given y, variance y given x. So we begin with number 1. Let's start with ex. Now simply just follow the rules. Ex, you multiply the whole thing by x. So we write down like this: x times 1 minus x minus y. I'll show you in a moment on the screen. 1 minus x, 1. Make sure to use a lot of paper. Be very generous on paper, very important. Dy dx. Okay, that's how we start off. You see, we made x times 1 minus x minus y, because that's ex. You have to multiply every single point by x. So I'll do a few steps. I'll show you on the screen. This turns out to be x minus x squared minus yx. Then you integrate this, so it gets, you integrate with respect to y. So it's xy minus x squared y minus x y squared over 2. What I just did now is I integrated it with respect to y. This is what I got: xy minus x squared y minus x y squared over 2. Now I have to insert the 1 minus x. I have to insert this 1 minus x. Wherever I see a y, I have to insert the 1 minus x. It's some work, but we gotta do it. So it's x times 1 minus x squared 1 minus x minus x times 1 minus x squared over 2. Wherever I see a y, I plug in a 1 minus x. Just need to factor it out. Get x minus x squared minus x squared plus x cubed. Remember, 2 minuses is a plus. So when you do back brackets, you open it up. It's confusing, but you have to turn it into. Now the last one, 1 minus x squared. This one here. You open it up, 1 minus x squared, and then you multiply it by x, and then you divide it by 2. So when you open it up, it gets x squared minus 2x plus 1. You multiply it by x, it turns into x cubed minus 2x squared minus x. And then you divide it by 2. And then, final step, you turn the minus into a plus. Because it's minus, so everything that's a minus turns into a plus. And anything that's a plus turns into a minus. So it's minus, plus, and this gets into a minus. You can just overwrite it, it's easier. Finally, I got this line here. The line here, you see what I wrote? I got x minus x squared minus x squared plus x cubed minus x cubed plus 2x squared minus x over 2. Now we can just combine like terms. So you got a plus x cubed minus x cubed over 2. That's a half x cubed. Half x cubed. Next, you get minus x squared. You get minus 2x squared on this side. Then you have plus x squared on this side. So it's only minus x squared. Now finally, you got here x. And here you got minus x over 2. So you have plus a half x. See the final line here? This is the final thing after combining like terms. This is what you get. Half x cubed minus x squared plus a half x. Now you can do it with respect to x. So it gets a half x4 over 4. So it's an 8x4 minus x cubed over 3 plus a half x squared over 2 is a quarter x squared. Finally, you do this from 1 to 0 with this last line here. You got here 8 x4 minus x cubed over 3 plus a quarter x squared. If you just put in a 1 there, it's quite easy. So it's an 8 minus a third plus a quarter. So you can do it with a simple calculator. Just take a calculator. First you do an 8 plus a quarter. 8 plus a quarter minus a third. 1/24 times 6. 6/24, that's a quarter. So this whole thing is a quarter. Finally, we write in big letters, shouldn't forget it, EX is a quarter. I wrote here, EX is a quarter. Our final line is an 8 minus a third plus a quarter, and then we got times 6, so EX is equal to a quarter. Now, EY is the same like EX, just if you realize, you can just change every X and put a Y, flip the X into Y's, and you get the same expression. So in other words, you can write here, you can write 1 minus y, and here you could put in 1 minus y minus x, and here you just put a y. So just by changing each x into a y, you get the same thing. You can just try it yourself. It's very simple. So EY is also a quarter. Does not matter. Now we'll do the next thing we plan to do. Take away this paper or hide it. You know already EX and EY. Now we'll figure out. Next thing on the list is to find variance x. Now we know variance x means EX squared minus EX squared. So EX we know already. In EX squared we also know it's a quarter squared, it's a 16th. So that we know. We just need to know what is EX squared. So we start the same thing. 1 minus x minus y. You put in here x squared 1 minus x 0 1 0. Just want to show you how I'm starting, and then you'll see it's not so hard as you think it is. It just looks a little bit messy, but if you have enough paper you can do it. You just need to make sure not to be stingy on paper. You got x squared, and then multiply it out. You get x squared minus x cubed minus x squared y. Now you do the integrated with respect to y, so it's x squared y minus x cubed y minus x squared y squared over 2. Now you just insert the 1 minus x wherever you see a y. X squared times 1 minus x minus x cubed times 1 minus x minus x squared 1 minus x squared over 2. Just be very patient. If you do it slowly, you get the right answer. So first we break up this. This turns out to be x squared minus x cubed. Here is minus x cubed plus x4. Again, if there's two minuses, then it turns into a plus. Now here is minus. First you break this up, gets x squared minus 2x plus 1. But you multiply it, so it gets x4 2x squared plus x squared divided by 2. You change everything, you turn this into a plus, this into a minus, as we said before. Finally, you got this expression, this line here, last line. Show it to you on the screen. X squared minus x cubed plus x4 minus x4 plus 2x squared minus x squared. And that's supposed to be 2x cubed. I made a mistake here. This is 2x 2x cubed. Okay, let's take the terms, put them together. So we have here, we have here x4 flying around here. We have our x4, then we have minus x4 over 2. So we have a half x4. Then we have the x cubed. We have negative x cubed minus 2x cubed. And then we got plus x cubed. So we just have 1 minus x cubed. Then we have x squared. We have here x squared. Then we have minus x squared over 2. So we have plus a half x squared. Make sure to make the minus and the plus signs big. You shouldn't get confused. It's very important here. You shouldn't get confused. Get a half x4 minus x cubed plus a half x squared. Finally, we take again with respect to x, gets x5 over 10 minus x4 over 4 plus x cubed over 6. And then we do a tenth minus a quarter plus a sixth. So you just take a calculator, a tenth plus a sixth minus a quarter. Tenth plus 1/6 minus 1/4. It's a 1/60th. 1/60th times 6, because remember we always pushed out the 6. We didn't want to work with in full numbers. We pushed out the 6, so 6/60th. That's 1/10. So we know that E is equal to 6/60th. That's 1/10. Wrote in big letters, shouldn't get confused. E, the second moment of x, is 1/10. Finally, simple math gives us the variance of x is equal to a tenth minus, remember we had here ex is a quarter, ex squared is a 16th, so it's a tenth minus a 16th. Let's take a calculator, do a tenth minus 1/16 is 3/80. Final answer deserves to have a nice box. 3/80. That is the variance, a tenth minus a 16th, 3/80. So we know already the ex, the ey, and the variance x. Now how about the variance y? So same story, just by flipping over and converting the x's into y's, we can do the same story like I did before, and it's going to be the same answer. So the same thing, the variance x, variance y are the same. Also 3/80. Now let's go in the list. The next thing comes here, covariance xy. So definition of covariance is exy minus ex times ey. So ex times ey we know already is, since both are 16 are a quarter, so it's ex times ey is a 16th. But what is exy? So we take a new piece of paper and we start all over again. This time we'll do like this: xy 1 minus x minus y dy dx 1 minus x to 0 1 to 0. That's how we start off. This is the expression that teaches us what exy is. And always remember there's a 6 in the end. The 6 we're kicking out here. Okay. So we start xy minus x squared y minus x y squared. It's getting a little bit clumsy here. Now we have to do the integral with respect to y, so we get x y squared over 2 minus x squared y squared over 2 minus x y cubed over 3. Here we have to insert a 1 minus x, and this is going to get really hairy, but we gotta do it. So start x times 1 minus x squared over 2 minus x squared 1 minus x squared over 2 minus x 1 minus x cubed over 3. Let me show you the line first to see how hairy this gets. This is the last line. X times 1 minus x squared over 2 minus x squared times 1 minus x squared over 2 minus x times 1 minus x cubed over 3. So we start the work here. One minus x squared we know is x squared minus 2x. We'll do divided by 2 in the end. X squared minus 2x plus 1. Since multiplied by x, it gets x cubed minus 2x squared plus x. Now this one is minus, here just one thing higher because it's x squared times this whole thing. So it is x4, just raise to the power, minus 2x cubed plus x squared. We'll do first, then we'll divide the whole thing by 2, because the whole expression will divide by 2 and we're done. So just we first change the signs here, because it's minus this whole thing, so this gets a plus, this gets a minus. We end up having here like this. I'm going to do the last one in the end because that's the hardest one. So we have like this, negative x4, from the cubed we have plus 2x cubed, then we have x cubed, so we have 3x cubed plus 3x cubed minus 2x squared minus x squared, so I have minus 3x squared plus x. Remember, this whole thing is divided by 2. Show you what we got here. It looks quite neat after all. Could have been much messier. So you see what we have here: x minus x4 plus 3x cubed minus 3x squared plus x divided by 2. Now the last expression is 1 minus x cubed. That's like this. You take first x squared minus 2x plus 1, you multiply it again times 1 minus x. So you can do it times x minus 1 and then make the negative of that if you wish. So this works out to be x cubed minus 3x squared plus 3x minus 1. You multiply this times x, so you add one higher digit. Everything goes up with the x. Then finally you convert the pluses into a minuses because it's minus. So if there's a minus, it gets a plus. If there's a plus, it gets a minus. The last step, this whole thing is divided by 3. This side of the paper, you see it. x4 plus 3x cubed minus 3x squared plus x divided by 3. So let's now try to combine these terms here. So we have minus x4 over 2. You see it's quite neat because we have on both sides all the powers, 4s. So first we do x4 over 3 minus x4 over 2. That's a third minus a half, you know, is negative a sixth. So we got negative a sixth x4. That's the first term here. Hold on, sorry. I think this is meant to be minus. No, it's minus. You got two minuses. It's minus 5/6. It's a half and a third. Both are negative. So it is minus 5/6. My mistake. Both are minus here. So the x4 term has negatives on both sides. Yeah. Next, how about the cubes? The cubes has pluses. The cubes has pluses on both sides. Just one side it's 1.5 x cubed, and here it's just 1x cubed. So it's 2.5 x cubed plus 2.5 x cubed. Now comes the x squared term, minus 1.5 x squared minus 1x squared. So both are minuses. So it's minus 2.5 x squared. It looks quite neat, honestly. Minus 2.5 x squared, because this is minus 1.5 x squared, this is minus 1. Now plus is plus x squared is plus 5/6 x. You got a half a x and a third. Half plus a third is 5/6. Finally, we got this expression here. I'll read it for you. It's taking long, but it is quite neat. Minus 5/6 x4 plus 2.5 x cubed minus 2.5 x squared plus 5/6 x. Now finally we plug in the 1 here. So that's easy. It's good. It's a 1. It's easy to you just know it's a 1. So you just take the pluses. So it's 2.5 plus 5/6. 2.5 plus 5/6 minus 2.5, so it just cancels out. The 2.5's cancel out, so you just get wow. Seems that I got 0 here. Everything cancels out. Didn't expect that. Everything cancels out. No. Hold on a second. I didn't do it right. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to integrate now with respect to x. What we did now was just we got to the x part. That's just Mhm. Mhm. I'm sorry, I just forgot to do the step. Now we gotta move up everything one. Forgot this part because this is the now integrate with respect to x. This is gonna get x5 over 5 times 5/6. So just gets this minus x5 over 6 plus x cubed over 3 times 2.5. That's times 3 over 2. So the 3's cancel out and just get a 2 minus 2.5x squared. Sorry, this is x4. x4 over 4 x4 over 4 times 3 2's. Minus x cubed over 3 times 3 2's. That's not 3 2's, 2.5. 2.5 is 5 2's. 2.5 is 5 2's. Plus x squared over 2 times 5/6. Okay. Now, this is an expression that's quite messy. Last line. Take a look what's going on here. Minus x5 over 6 plus 5x4 over 2 times 4 minus 5x cubed over 2 times 3 plus 5x squared over 6 times 2. Now the x just turns into a 1. So it's minus the 6th plus 5 over 8 minus 5 over 6 plus 5 over 12. I'll just take a calculator and we'll do then we'll do everything times 6. So we got 5/12 plus 5/8. We have minus 1 because it's 5/6 and 1/6. Minus 1 equals 1/24 times 6 is 6/24. It's a quarter. So here we go. EXY is a quarter. I'm writing here. EXY is equal to a quarter. Now, we ask for the variance. We know the covariance means EXY times EX times EY. So that's a quarter minus a quarter times a quarter. A quarter minus a 16th is 3/16. So I'm writing here covariance, big letters. Covariance XY equal to 3/16. Again, covariance by definition is the EXY minus EX times EY. EXY is a quarter, and EX is EX is a quarter, and EY is a quarter, so it's a quarter minus a 16th, that's 3/16. Now, you know that there is such a thing as called the you do divided by the standard deviation. So since we know the variance is 3/80, we can do the root of that and then multiply the two roots. That's going to be the correlation coefficient. That is the covariance xy divided by the standard deviation of x times standard deviation of y. That's not too complex. I'm not going to do it here because it's messy, but it's not so hard to do. You just take the covariance at 3/16, you divide it by standard deviation. That's the root of 3/80 times the root of 3/80. Actually, it's also 3/80, so 3/16. Also, it's quite easy. 3/16 over 3/80 is very easy. I will do a 3/16 divided by 3/80 is 5. It doesn't make sense. One second. What did I do? 5, 8 plus 5, 12. 5, 8 plus 5, 12. 64. Doesn't make sense. The covariance standard deviation variance of x is 3/80. It's impossible to be 3/16 over 3/80. Something I did wrong here because it cannot be more than 1. So the covariance xy should be 3/16, and that should be only 3/80. Okay, we'll stay here.